As an artist, there are a lot of expectations you're, expected to meet. Your art has to visibly take time and skill, or be visually pleasing to other people. Doesn't matter how much you like your art, there will always be someone who doesn't. Might as well shrink the list as much as you can, right? This is how I got stuck in a box. My art looks generic now, like anything you would find on Pinterest. It's anatomically correct, as perspectively correct as I can muster, and the colors are acceptable. The lines are clean and make sense, and the character designs are standard. Meanwhile, when I used to hate my art the most, when I believed I was inferior, my art was so much more stylistically pleasing to me. It wasn't 100% anatomically correct. I took certain liberties to make it flow better. I had more creative character designs, and I wasn't worried about making them more unique and different from everyone else's characters. I look back on my old art, and I wonder where I went wrong for about 2 seconds, and then I realize exactly where I went wrong. Comparing my art to everyone else's. Changing my art style for everyone else to like in an attempt to get more engagement, but it fell flat. I get no YouTube views, no TikTok views, and even less Instagram views. I'll work on something that took me hours and tons of effort that I end up actually being proud of, and it gets nothing on any platform. Social media is hard, and it's even harder when you're desperate for validation. It feels like screaming into the void, holding out your art for absolutely no one to see. I'm sure that even this video won't get any traction. But enough about me. How do you avoid this? I know it's easier said than done, but please try not to compare yourself to other people. It's not worth it. It may help your skill level if it causes you to grind out weeks of studying like me, but it will drastically change your view on how you create. You will start creating for attention, for validation, and not for yourself or whatever project you're really passionate about. By all means, do not place the value of your art in the hands of analytics. Some of the best creators I've seen on my TikTok are actually my mutuals with like 3,000 followers and 300 views a video. The worst thing you can do is rely on social media for validation in any aspect, and that includes your art. Social media is ad-driven, and the algorithm doesn't care about real creativity unless it's hidden behind an engagement bait wrapper such as rage bait, drama, or the promise of perfect golden advice that is too good to be true. Your creation getting no views doesn't mean your creation isn't good. It just means you're not sucking up to the social media gods. Another thing to avoid getting caught up on is how much you're drawing. To be honest, it's bad for whatever trade you're in. Music, art, editing, anything. It's bad to get caught up on how much you're creating. If you're trying to draw, say, 10 sketches a day, that can be hard for some artists and it can burn you out. Trying to work too much can cause burnout. It's just human nature. I experienced this recently with a design project that I was working on. It involved designing 13 different characters. I did use the symmetry tool and reused some rendering, but it still burnt me out really hard. I was still able to start working on this banner and profile picture that I have going on in the background, but it did burn me out from designing. All these characters in the banner that you're seeing and the profile picture that you're seeing were pre-designed by other people. Well, a few were designed by me, but mostly all the aspects of the characters were designed by other people. The project that I recently finished was 13 brand new designs that I had to come up with an alternate design for another universe the characters would be going to. It was a lot of work, and it made me not want to draw anymore. Burnout is a killer. It can make you stop appreciating the art process, and it can make you begin to resent it. That is something that I have experienced heavily in the past with other projects, where after completing them, all I wanted to do was just never touch my sketchpad or never touch my phone or my iPad ever again. You have to allow yourself to take breaks or you will get tired. It's just how the human brain works. Deadlines can also produce burnout, especially if you're working on a commission. But for more personal projects, I would recommend not giving yourself a deadline. Or at least try to give yourself a more reasonable deadline. Another thing to try not getting caught up on is your shading style or your rendering style. I've seen tons of different rendering styles online, and I can see the good in all of them. I can see good in more pillowy shading art styles. I can see the good in stuff that is rendered like old 2000s app icons. I've seen good art in realistic shading, semi-realistic shading, even cartoony stuff kind of like mine. Any type of shading style can look good. It doesn't matter your technique. There will always be someone out there who appreciates how your art looks, even if some people won't. And as long as you like it, that really is all that matters. If it comes out the way that you wanted it to, and the way that you like it to look, then that is good. You shouldn't worry about how other people think about your art if you are okay with it. And this doesn't mean that studying and practicing and trying out other styles that may be more realistic or intricate isn't a good thing. It is good to experiment and try to build on your skill level. But if you end up being able to draw Renaissance level anatomy, but you can also draw cartoon dogs, then I think that's amazing for you. And anyone who has anything to say about it doesn't matter as much as your opinion on your own art. If you can draw photorealistic things, but you prefer to draw in an anime style, that's okay, as long as you prefer to do it and you find fun in it. The worst thing that can happen to an artist is no longer finding fun in their craft. Because that is what has happened to me, and I know what it feels like. I'm hoping that I can come out of it soon, at least. But right now, I am in the space where I don't really find art too fun. There are some instances where I find more fun in art, like this specific piece did actually spark some happiness in me. I like drawing the little props, and I like drawing my friends' characters. But when I'm doing stuff that I feel like I have to for my character development, my stories, like designing those 13 characters, it's hard and it doesn't really bring fun to me. And that's one of the saddest things that can happen to someone. And mostly it stems from my inability to break outside of my mold that I've created for myself. If you look at all of the characters, the designs look very similar. Not in the same face syndrome type of way, but all the proportions are pretty similar. The way that I render clothes is pretty similar. Not many of the clothes look like they are utilizing different types of fabric. That's a problem that I have with my art, because I've put myself in this one box of, oh, this looks cool, so this is all I'll do because I want my art to look cool. I am terrified of my art looking bad, and that is something that you should never have to worry about as long as you are okay with how it looks yourself. For this art, I had to go more outside of my box because one of my friends wanted his character to be doing more of an expressive action. And I am so scared of drawing expressive actions, mainly because I am scared of my art looking ugly. More expressive actions require more creases and folds in the face, and more outstretched poses, and more dramatic poses. Those are difficult in and of themselves. The face creases in particular are the things that I am scared of. Most of my characters always have this stoic looking face because I'm scared of drawing them emoting too excessively. It's scary to think that someone might look at my art and say, oh, that looks wrong, or oh, that doesn't look pleasing to my eyes. I forget that not all of my art has to be serious, and I tend to have more fun drawing funner poses and funner expressions, and I end up liking them myself. But what's holding me back is this fear of what other people think, and that is something that you should never instill in yourself. If you are a beginner artist, please do not think this way. Holding value in your art simply because other people like it is not the way to go. You need to place the value that you have in your creativity in your own perception of it. Nothing is more important than that. Try to have fun with things. Go outside of your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone's gonna get boring. That's just how it is. You're holding your potential back if you're worried about what other people think. These are things I wish I could have been told when I was 12 when I started drawing. Now that they've been so instilled in me, I literally can't get them out of my head no matter how wrong I know it is to think that way. So please, be better than me and know what to do to avoid digging yourself into an art block hole. And be proud of yourself. Your art is amazing. The art I've been drawing in the background is the banner and profile picture of my friend's YouTube channel. Go check it out at the link in the description. Bye bye!